Hello guys, today I want to make a short video to talk about StarRocks use cases and how you can use StarRocks in different kind of scenarios, right? Now let's get started. So first, what is StarRocks? StarRocks is Apache licensed Linux Foundation open source project. As of June 2024, it has accumulated 8.3 thousand stars on GitHub and 354 contributors from around the world, adopted by industry leaders such as Airbnb, Celonis, and Tencent, and many more. Right. So now let's get started on the use cases. So first, you can deploy StarRocks as a data warehouse, right? Utilizing StarRocks' own storage engine, store your data in StarRocks' own file and table format, right? So first, StarRocks has a very simple architecture with no external dependencies. It only has two kind of processes. So first is FE, the front ends are like the PMs, product managers of the query execution process, right? Does metadata management and query planning, right? And also you have the CNs. They're like the workhorses of the whole cluster, right? They're in charge of actually executing the query and scanning data from the storage, right? And StarRocks' own storage engine is pretty powerful. It's really good for real-time analytics, right? Out of box, you can get second-level data freshness on mutable data with data upserts and deletes in actual real time, right? And also StarRocks supports join queries. Not only support the syntax, but actually scalable join queries. You're able to run billion rows table, join another billion row table, and get great performance out of that, right? So there's no need to implement a denormalization pipeline for your real-time analytic workload, right? So you don't need a stateful stream processing tool, which is very difficult to use, right? To be able to run your analytics in real time, right? And also StarRocks' own storage engine has a lot of features that are built for extremely high concurrency and low latency customer-facing like workloads, such as intermediate result caching, right, to get the best possible performance for those customer-facing like workloads. And also StarRocks features a storage and compute separated architecture, shared data architecture, we would like to call it. So instead of data persisting in your local storage, data actually persisted in a remote storage like HDFS or cloud object storage such as AWS S3, right? CN nodes being stateless, so meaning you are able to scale with your workload, right? To take full advantage of the elasticity of the cloud, right? And by only storing one replica of the data, persisting one replica of the data in your cloud object storage such as AWS S3, it's a lot more cost effective too, right? On the storage side. And also it has a built-in memory disk based caching framework, to accelerate the queries, to minimize the IO from StarRocks cluster and the remote storage itself, right? Also supports standard SQL. It's MySQL compatible, so you're able to keep all of the tools that you've been using, and also you get to keep all of the SQL scripts that you work so hard on, right? And instead of using it as a data warehouse for real-time analytics, you can also use StarRocks as a query engine for the data lake or data lakehouse architecture, right? You can swap out the StarRocks storage engine with a data lake system, right? With your Delta Lake, Iceberg, Hoodie managed Parquet files. And StarRocks is able to query the data lake directly and get great performance, right? And so StarRocks can actually get data warehouse-like performance directly on the data lake or data lakehouse, right? This is thanks to the caching framework that we talk about, right? Not only minimizing I/O, but it also it minimizes the effect of like data lake files, right? Data lake files can sometimes be unoptimized for query performance, right? And caching framework can help with that a lot as well, right? And also it's written in C++. It's all SIMD optimized to run the fastest possible performance, especially for those complex ad hoc like queries you see on the data lake, right? high cardinality aggregations and a lot of joins, right? And also it ported a lot of data warehouse like optimizations to on the data lake, right? Such as your low cardinality kind of optimization. We ported a lot of features, brought a lot of features to the data lake, to have that really good performance and materialized views too, right? And also StarRocks as a query engine support Trino dialect. So if you are a Trino user, you don't really have to change your SQL script to be able to use StarRocks, right? And yeah, so that's all I have. So try StarRocks today. You can join the Slack channel using this link, and also check out StarRocks on GitHub. And also there is a cloud managed version of StarRocks called Cellular Data Cloud. Now you can register for Cellular Data Cloud and get your 30-day free trial. All right. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys again in the next video. Thank you.